Joining us now is Ojinika Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinix.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How was your weekend? Just make it louder, that's all. We missed you, Ayomi. How are you this morning?
Very well,
fantastic.
thank you.
Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Audrey.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm doing excellent. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In Turkey and Syria, 1 week after the devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake that tore through both countries, the United Nations has finally acknowledged an international failure to help Syrian quake victims as residents of areas in northwest Syria struck by the massive earthquake are grappling with their new and worsening reality, while Turkish authorities are targeting contractors allegedly linked with buildings that collapsed in the powerful earthquake. On Sunday, rescuers found more survivors in the rubble, including a pregnant woman and 2 children in the disaster that has killed over 33,000 people. In Nigeria, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on Sunday clarified that he was not against the decision of the country's central bank to redesign the naira and the drive towards a cashless economy, contrary to insinuations, but was only against the disruptive implementation of the policy. He urged the federal government and the CBN to announce that the old and new naira notes should coexist as legal tender till 2024, while the People's Democratic Party called on leaders of the APC, including Tinubu, to immediately release billions of new naira notes allegedly in their custody in order to halt the anguish being experienced by Nigerians. Under sports, Nigerian sprinter Favour Ofili set an African women's indoor record in 200 meters after she dipped 22.36 seconds at the Tiger Paw Invitational in South Carolina over the weekend. The Louisiana State University undergraduate blissed across the indoor circuit to retire the 22.48 seconds record she set at the Southeastern Conference Championships in February 2022. Ofili's latest performance is the 2nd fastest time in U.S. collegiate history and the 6th fastest in the world. Finally, under entertainment, Rihanna delivered an electrifying performance at the Super Bowl 57 halftime show on Sunday as she debuted her baby bump, revealing she is expecting her 2nd child 9 months after welcoming her son with her partner, A$AP Rocky. It was her first solo performance in 7 years and her first since becoming a mother. The 34-year-old star dazzled the crowd from on high as her dancers performed beneath her stage at breakneck speed in a display of razor-sharp choreography on the field at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Congratulations to Rihanna. Well, let's begin what's trending with this heart-wrenching story emanating from Chrisland School in Lagos, Nigeria, involving the death of a 12-year-old student identified as Whitney who slumped during the school's inter-house sports program, which has sparked outrage across social media in Nigeria. On Sunday, the school management released a press statement confirming that Whitney was one of their day students who opted not to participate in the inter-house program for reasons unknown to them, but cited a case on January 20th, 2023, where she complained about her health. Well, Whitney's parents have debunked the claim, stating that their daughter has been in good health. Whitney's mother took to social media to narrate her ordeal.
I'm looking for Whitney. The boy said, a girl just fainted here. But they have taken her, the school bus has taken her to the hospital. I said, a girl fainted. Oh, may God give her quick recovery. Why did she faint now? Anyway, I'm looking for Whitney Adeniro. She's my daughter. The boy said, the girl that fell, her name is Whitney. I heard them calling Whitney when they were pouring her water. I said, Jesus. But it's not my own child. My daughter's name is Whitney Adeniran. And I brought out my phone. The boy said, I don't know her surname, but I know her name is Whitney. I brought out my phone and I showed the boy her picture. And he said, this is the girl that fell. I said, what? What happened to her? Why would my child fall? She hasn't done anything strenuous. She wasn't sick. She hasn't done any activity. What is going on? Why would my child faint? A man was there. The man said, Madam, ibilo durosi, oshubu, emini modo misilara. Meaning she was standing here. She fell. I poured water on her. I said, who took her? He said, school bus. No ambulance, no doctor, no nurse, no medical personnel, nobody. There was no emergency provision on ground in a place where you have over 500 students. I saw the woman that went with her, the staff that went with her. I said, Madam, where is my child? What happened? Why did she faint? She said, I don't know. She's in there. I went in there and I saw my daughter's corpse. Desola did not say anything to me. I went in there and I met my daughter on her deathbed. She was already dead when I got there and I saw her. All this happened in less than 10 minutes. She was already dead. She was drenched, soaked to the skin. Water was dripping. I knelt down. I called on God. I shouted. I screamed. I felt her pulse. No pulse. I put my hand on her chest. It was deathly silent. My daughter was silent. I asked the doctor there. He said, Doctor, what happened to my daughter? The woman looked at me and said, Madam, from the way I'm saying things, is like cardiac arrests. I said, cardiac what? Whitney was 12. She was 12 October 30th last year, 2022. How does a 12-year-old have a cardiac arrest? No pre-existing medical condition, no pre-existing heart condition. She was hale and healthy. She was not sick in any form. If she was sick, I would never allow her leave the house. If she was sick, if she had even minor headache, I would never allow her leave the house. If she was sick, I would have taken her to that school myself. But she was not sick. She was looking forward to the inter-house sport. Why was she not there? Why did my daughter die? Please tell me what happened to my child. They are not saying anything to me. They are saying, oh, she slumped. Oh, she slumped. Oh, she slumped. How? How? Parents are calling me, oh, Mommy Whitney, we sympathize with you. Somebody said, oh, I learned from the school authorities she was a sickly child. I said, my child sickly? My own child sickly? That is not true. I'm not an irresponsible woman. I'm not an irresponsible parent. Me and my husband, we place our children as priority. If my child complained of even a slight headache, she would never have gone to that school that day. She would not have gone. I would take her to the hospital immediately. Melo money. How many I get? How many I get? So I go take one, they play. How many? Chrisland up to this moment is not telling me anything. You're telling me, Kadara, go and bury her. Kadara. How do I accept Kadara that my first fruit, my 12-year-old, is late, he's dead, out of carelessness? There was no ambulance. There was no medical doctor on ground. There was no trained personnel. Why was she drenched in water? Who poured water on her? What happened? Nobody is telling me anything. They're protecting their school integrity. I'm seeing some comments that is breaking my heart, but I will not curse you. I will pray for you, and I will say, the pain I'm going through, may you never experience it. This pain I'm going through, may you never. I don't have an enemy in this world, but I will not wish on my worst enemy. I pray no mother has to go through what I'm going through. IGO police, if you are a father, come to my rescue. Last suit, my daughter's body is in your mortuary. Chrisland, what happened to Desola Adeniran? You people will answer me, no matter what it takes. If it takes my last blood, you will answer me. You will tell me what happened to my daughter. If it is the last night before I die, you will tell me what happened to Desola. You will tell me what happened to my daughter. All this your story of she slumped is a lie. I don't agree.
This is so sad. Our heart goes out to
Whitney's parents. May her soul rest in peace. We believe the Lagos State government has ordered the closure of Chrisland School in Okpe. Well, we have our correspondent, Oba Adeyu, on site to give us updates on what's happening at this moment. Oba, can you please bring us up to speed? Good morning, Oba.
We got here this morning and, good morning. We got here this morning and we met some members of the deceased family at the gate of the school, agitated. And the information we got from them is that the closure of the school by the Lagos State government has not taken any effect. We're told that some activities are still taking place within the school. And obviously they are angry. They will not allow anybody to come out from the school premises or gain access into the school premises. You can see some of them are still at the gate right behind me, while some of them are still scattered around there, expressing their anger with the school authorities for the way they handled the matter, and of course, their reaction to the Lagos State government directive that the school be shut. So we are still here this morning, and of course, everybody within the neighborhood, are out. They are out, watching what is happening at the school premises. But the guards at the school gate, will not bog to the agitation of their aggrieved family members. But we are still here, keeping the tab on development as they occur from this part of the state.
Well, let's get something straight. Are there students in school today after the Ministry of Education had said that the school had been temporarily closed? Because if you say some activity is still going on, is it that classes are going on, teachers are there, and have you been able to talk to anybody in the school? Maybe the head teacher, maybe the school principal?
Nobody will allow us to enter into the school premises, but we can, hear sound of activities taking place within the school premises. I cannot independently confirm if there are lesson sessions going on there, but I can tell you that there are people within the school premises. There are activities going on within the school premises. Although some of the family members told us that some students, some pupils, are in the school taking lessons as against the directive of the state government. I have one of those agitated family members here. She's the sister to the mother of the deceased. Let me just have a word or two with her. What's your name, madam?
My name is Constance.
Constance what?
Constance.
Are you related with the...
I'm related to the wife.
How?
She's my sister.
Okay. So you told me earlier before I came before the camera that there are students within the school premises.
Yes,
did you see them?
I saw them. There are students inside the school. Parents are coming to drop their children and parents are going out. Activities are ongoing already in this school. Even if the state government never asked them to shut down, couldn't they have shut down for courtesy purpose or whatever? So, are they not being patriotic?
What are they telling you? Because I met you at the gate.
They told us that the school is having some meeting with the Ministry of Education. And I doubt if that is true, because there is no how Ministry of Education will walk into that school to have a meeting without his or her entourage.
Okay, so you are telling us now there are pupils inside. Did you see them?
Pupils inside. Yes, I saw the pupils. If you can go, there are windows, the school windows, classroom windows are open, and classes are ongoing.
All right, thank you, Constance. I'll get back to you. So that's information we got from some family members of the deceased that we met here this morning. And I can also tell you that I saw a couple of cars wanting to enter into the premises. But of course, those family members will not allow them entrance into the premises.
But I can see a police vehicle, a police van just behind you. Is that an escort vehicle, or is there to enforce the directive of the State Ministry of Education? You have any idea what that police vehicle is doing there?
We've not seen much. We've not seen much of the policemen here. I just saw their vehicles there, and a couple of them, standing by, maybe to, be on standby for a possible breakdown of law and order in this environment. But since I came here this morning, I've not seen much of them. They are standing by very close to their vehicles, and they are staying calm, watching activities. Even when the family members of the deceased are agitated and trying, to stop vehicles, turning vehicles back, who wanted to come into the school premises, the policemen remain calm in their vehicles. They remain calm, very close to their vehicles. So not much of activities are coming from the policemen this morning.
Well, all right. Well, thank you very much, Oba, for bringing us up to speed. We're going to stay on this story. Thank you so much indeed. Well, Dr. Abati, over to you. I mean, Chrisland School is back in the news again. Last year, I believe there was some controversy involving one of their schools where, a student was filmed, engaging with some immoral activities in Dubai. A lot of people are outraged. I mean, listening to Oba saying that, activities are ongoing in the school is quite frustrating, Dr. Abati.
Well, I think it's important. First, we commiserate with the affected family, the Adeniran family. You could see the pain, the anguish, the agony of a mother. And I'm sure everyone, whether you're a parent or not, can relate to that. I mean, to lose a child is not anything that anybody prays for. But it's good that the state government has intervened to say we're closing down the school temporarily and that they will do an investigation. And in the course of the investigation, the state government was very clear that where there has been any wrongdoing, the due course of the law would apply. But this time around, I think the school also responded swiftly without necessarily dramatizing the incident. The teachers themselves being parents. I'm aware that they contacted every parent who has a child in Chrisland School, whether in the Okpe school or in any of their branches, to try to explain what happened. Now, the parents are alleging negligence. The school is saying that the young lady had been ill before, that she did not take part in the march past, that in fact she was not involved in any strenuous activity, and at the Agege Stadium, she was accompanied by her mother. Many of these schools, they do their inter-house sports at a chosen location, and parents usually accompany the children. And, the school also says, they've been interfacing with the family, as they have been doing with other, parents, because, they think caused a general panic, of course, among parents. But I think it's a good thing that the state government is going to investigate and get to the root of the matter. And it would be nice if there could be an autopsy to find out medically what exactly happened. Because the young lady, reportedly went to buy something maybe outside the stadium or within the vicinity with her friends, and then she slumped. So what exactly happened?
Absolutely.
So the parents, they are right to raise questions, to ask questions. And I believe that in the course of the interaction with the school authorities, they will get to the root of it. But unfortunately, whatever is done, will not bring back the dead, which is the most painful, the most unfortunate part of it. A whole life full of hope, full of promise, we've lost that. And that's what makes it really painful.
No parent should ever lose a child. This is so sad.
It's really sad. I watched Mrs. Adeniran's post. It's on her Instagram page where she detailed from her own perspective, from her own account, what transpired on the day. Now, because it's under investigation, we will wait for the results of the investigation to understand, because it's a very sensitive matter, and it's easy for people to get agitated or for emotions to run high, because we're talking about a 12-year-old, a minor who went to school healthy according to the account of her parents, and the next time they saw her, she had passed on. However, the only thing I'd like to spotlight is the importance of health and safety and first aid procedures, especially in organizations or settings where you have the responsibility for young people or vulnerable people, as was in the case of this inter-house sport at Agege Stadium. Initial reports indicate, and the school also alluded to the fact that when she slumped, there was no one on site to attend to her. What happened was that water was poured on her. In fact, her mom said that when she got to the hospital, where she was confirmed dead on arrival by well, there wasn't a hospital, they said it was a clinic, because that was the closest
immunization center or something like that.
The mom said immunization center, the school said clinic, but it was not a hospital. What they were trying to do was to get her to something that looked like a health service to give her first aid. We shouldn't have to do that. Where you have young people, the mom said they had about 500 students and about 100 parents from the mom's account on ground at Agege Stadium. There ought to have been an emergency response protocol for that. These are young children we're talking about. So before the results come up, we need to begin to talk about, we've talked about this so many times, so where children are involved, we must make health and safety priority.
Absolutely.
So who was the responsible person there? These are some of the questions that Chrisland has to begin to answer even before the full report comes out.
Absolutely. Rufai.
I commiserate with the parents. It's so hard to lose anybody. But sadly, I'll say it will happen again. Because we don't learn. What will probably happen is when the investigation comes out, we'll see it by ourselves. It'll be tossed out. We'll talk about it. When the media gets tired, we'll move on. And why this repeats itself is because we have a culture of inefficiency, and culture will eat strategy for breakfast. Haven't we stopped talking about Sylvester Romani's case now? Is it not the same measure? The schools were closed. When the schools were closed in Sylvester Romani's case, didn't we hear stories about how these people tried to open up the schools until a protest happened in front of the school? One thing we'll just say is this: culture will eat strategy for breakfast. For the fact that there was no ambulance on site and doctors that could give emergency care speaks volumes of our system in this country.
Absolutely.
And especially with these private school operators, which when you extrapolate is as a result of even the failure of government and those that regulate them in the first place. So we see this thing one too many. And in the end, do people really get justice? Probably they would drag on the case. But I think it's part of the law. So an autopsy will be done if you die in some circumstances, according to the Lagos coroner law. An autopsy has to be done. Secondly, I think the FCCPC, Federal Bureau of Competition, should be dragged into this. I think they should make a formal request
Absolutely.
to Mr. Babatunde, Dr. Babatunde Ruker as regards this. And let's see how we can pursue this. But with the long arm of the law, these things just stretch. And do people really get justice? That's a sad reality. I know it's not a direct circumstance, but the case of Chef Pedro Goma is still on.
All right.
So these are the things we're talking about in our society. Culture will eat strategy for breakfast. I'm sad to say, Audrey, we'll still come back here and talk about something like this again. I just pray it's not soon enough.
Well, again, may Whitney's soul rest in peace. We'll take our final story discussing the attacks on supporters of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi over the weekend during what the party has described as the mother of all rallies in Lagos State. Well, before the commencement of the rally at the Tafawa Balewa Square, Peter Obi toured some parts of the state, including Alaba and Idumota, to meet with his supporters and drum up support for his candidacy. The former Anambra State governor was seen in a motorcade amid cheers from supporters who had lined up major roads in the area. Unfortunately, you know, this rally was marred with a lot of attacks. I believe one of your friends was attacked, but this picture of Yusuf Abiola went viral. I thought I should highlight that picture. But what was more important was the attack on his supporters. Really quickly, Ayo.
Yes, we had a robust conversation about this, and it's just unfortunate every Nigerian should have a right and the right to choose whomever they want to support, candidate or party, without the fear of attacks. I can't even say reprisal attacks, but what have you done wrong for supporting someone? So these obedience were with paraphernalias of Labour Party were attacked. Please, the Lagos State government must address this concern.
But how is your friend, Ben Iyoha?
Ben Iyoha, yes.
Iyoha.
He showed he had cuts on his body. There's some of them are still in hospital. He's recovering.
With the machete?
Yes, machete, broken bottles, many of them. Jack Conde, Third Mainland Bridge, where we condemn the attacks.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
Well, thank you, Ojineka. This thing is already playing.
Thank you all for your great analysis, as always.
Thank you.
That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.